Today I have the distinguished honor to join our parade Grand Marshal in unveiling a special monument that commemorates veterans of the U.S.-Korean War. I'd like to introduce our Grand Marshal, Mike Adragna. I'd like to just say a few words about Mike. I've known Mike, I think, about 15 years. He's a Korean veteran, sergeant, and I don't know how long he's had this dream, but he's been working on this monument for the past 2 years that I know of. He's talked to me about it a couple years ago, and also city manager Steve Duchesne. And the monument we're going to unveil today, Mike Adragna designed the monument. He's worked on it for 2 years. He garnered all the money for it through donations. He put a lot of work. It's a one-man show. I mean, he got the money, he designed it, he went to the stone cutter, and it's been a dream for I don't know how long, but really when you see that monument, we were here Friday morning when they took it off the truck. What a job he did in designing it and collecting all those monies. I just like to, my hat's off to Mike. Mike Adragna.
Thank you, Mayor Noddy. Well, our Grand Marshal this morning has been introduced by the mayor, but I'd like to tell you a little bit about him. He enlisted in the Marines when he was only 19, following in the footsteps of his uncle and brother. After completing boot camp at Parris Island, he specifically asked to be sent to Korea, where he was a member of the 1st Marine Division. Serving in the Ordnance Battalion, he was responsible for the repair of weapons, ammunitions, and tanks. While in Korea, he received 2 field promotions. He completed his 3 years of military service at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. He is compassionate about the Korean War. As Mayor Noddy already said, he personally designed it, he raised the funds for it, and he was the one that brought this to fruition. I am very honored to present our Grand Marshal, Sergeant Mike Adragna.
Excuse me 1 minute. Before Mike takes the microphone, I'd like to introduce Pat Donofrio, Circuit Judge of Macomb County.
Good morning. First, I'd like to start off with a few thank yous to Mayor Noddy for your contribution, your support, your encouragement through all of this, to Steve Duchesne, the City Council, the Cultural Commission, to all of the staff of the Community Relations Department. I wish to thank all of you for your support and assistance. To all of the veterans groups and individuals who answered the call to support this drive, to the members of the civic and the business members, I thank all of you. And to all the veterans and military units who are participating today, I thank you. To my most noble assistant, Ken Lockwood, I cannot thank you enough for all your devoted help. And to the real pillar of support through this entire campaign, my wife, Grace. Her dedication and support to the countless hours throughout the entire drive were priceless. I do not think I could have succeeded without you. I love you, Grace. "37 years, 11 months ago today, North Korea stormed across the 38th parallel in an attempt to unify the Korean peninsula into a single communist-ruled nation. The United Nations agreed to intervene. American units were quickly formed and pressed into service. The following months were called the Pusan Perimeter. These troops, they were called to hold back the onrushing forces of the North at all cost, until troops could be activated, formed, and sent halfway around the world to a country that most have never heard of. In the course of 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days, over 1.5 million Americans would serve. There were 54,246 Americans who gave their lives. 7,140 were captured and taken prisoner. 8,177 were classified as missing in action, and now after 45 years have been reclassified, presumed dead. 103,284 Americans were wounded in action. Till this day, this tiny nation of South Korea still remains in a state of undeclared war. And with deep pride, I say that South Korea, till this day, remains free. One of the things that comes to my mind passing through these towns and villages, we're seeing children running around the streets homeless, searching for their families, looking for food. I used to wonder, how could they survive all of this? Today, we're honored to have some of these survivors here present. Now proud American citizens and known as the Korean Americans Women's Association. Their contribution to this monument and their participation is their way of saying thank you, America, for the freedom our homeland still knows. I must add, to coming to know you ladies as I do, I am proud of the small part that I participated in the cause of freedom for your country. Once the demilitarized zone was established and secured along the borders dividing the two countries, North Korea never more crossed into the South. Today, 45 years later, there still remain more than 35,000 Americans serving as peacekeepers along the DMZ, securing the South's freedom. Also today, present here, representing the thousands of Americans who made the supreme sacrifice, we have one, the Detroit area Sergeant Harold Cross, United States Army, the last American to die in the war, and whose very own husband, Private First Class Harry F. Lapich, United States Army, gave his life in battle on the 14th of August, 1952. Mrs. Lapich, I am honored with your presence here today. To all the MIAs, you will never, ever be forgotten. And to all who died and all the missing are what this monument is all about. In closing, I wish to express to all of the veterans from all of the wars, and to all who have served or served as peacekeepers throughout the world, I salute you, and I am proud to walk among you. To my God, to my family, my country, and my corps, I am Semper Fidelis. Thank you, and God bless all of you. Mayor Nadi, if you would please, along with the ladies of the Korean American Women's Association, do the honors of unveiling this monument. Thank you. May all who come to gaze upon this stone know that the price of freedom is not free. May they know that the price of freedom is usually paid for in blood, and that America will always stand ready to defend freedom. A freedom that is too often taken for granted was paid for by veterans. I'll read you a very brief poem, author unknown, titled The Soldier. It is the soldier, not the reporter, who gives us the freedom of the press. It is the soldier, not the poet, who gives us freedom of the speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who gives us the right to demonstrate. And it is the soldier, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the soldier who salutes the flag, whose coffin is draped by the flag, and who allows the protector to properly burn the flag. Thank you.